Hey, good evening. Good evening, everyone. This is Buffalo Picker. Thank you all for coming out with us tonight. Tonight I have two special guests. My special guest that I should have had on the show way back is She Sell by Sue, and I have Lauren deep end of the Sandbox, and my regular guest, which is Glass City Picker. So I'm going to go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves, and then I'm going to jump in at the end. So Glass City Pickers, go ahead and kick it off.
So we're Glass City Pickers. I'm Tanya. This is Chris.
How y'all doing?
I'm a full-time nurse. I work at the VA. I feel like full-time reseller lately. We sell on eBay and Amazon, and Chris stays home and takes care of the business while I'm at work. And we love all having y'all here.
And we love doing what we do. Sue, what's going on? She sells.
Hey, I want to say that you guys are special guests too. I just want to say that.
We're just special. That's all that is. We just special.
Oh, I've been a full-time reseller. I never can remember exactly how long. I want to say 3.5 years. And I mostly sell probably 95% on Amazon, which 6 weeks ago I would have said 95% of that is FBA. But I happened to be going on a trip in March, so I had put in a boatload. I was going to say something else. A boatload of stuff before I left into FBA. So I'm still selling through that. But I'm doing just a lot of merchant fulfill, which I had always done it just here and there with a hot toy or something like that. But I was working through my basement because I wasn't leaving the house. And I got to go shopping yesterday, so I had a lot of shipments today. Yeah. I thought that the stay-at-home order was over yesterday day, but it turned out it really wasn't until midnight last night. So I kind of went out a little ahead of when I was supposed to. But no one kicked me out of store.
That's okay.
Hey, you needed it.
Oh boy, did I need it.
You needed it.
Super jealous. Where do you live that the stores are open?
Outside of Atlanta. Well, now the stores really aren't open yet, except for the Walmart, Target, those kind of stores. They were supposed to open a few malls today, but they didn't. So they're not going to open till Monday.
That's
well, we'll see if they open. I guess they didn't get all the X's and lines on the floor taped out. I don't know why they didn't open today, but.
Well, I'm glad you got some therapeutic going out and getting.
Boy, did I need that!
Hey, got rid of that cabin fever.
Yeah,
I still got the pandemic hair, but yeah, I got out of the house, so that.
All right.
Okay.
So Lauren, tell the audience a little bit about you and what you do for reselling.
Hey guys, first I want to say thank you for having me, Tommy. I'm very excited.
Sure. I'm glad you could make it.
I'm glad I made it too. Literally, it's like the only thing on my to-do list today, and yet it still got down to the wire. Right. I am Lauren. I own a vintage secondhand toy store in Long Island, New York. We are closed indefinitely. I got news today that school is not going back for the year. I'm having the worst day of my life. So the store's been open for almost 7 years. And so I've been doing eBay for a little longer than that. And definitely in the last 2 years, maybe even the last year and a half, really, really kicked it up, and it saved the store. And now it's my only source of income for me. My husband's still working, thank God. So
Right.
I need to go back to work. So I'm not used to working from home. I'm not used to being like a stay-at-home mom.
Right. Be in the mix.
Hey, didn't we have a discussion about that on you all show, or was it last Friday, Chris and Tanya?
I think it was
about staying home.
It was on our show, man.
Okay.
I understand where you're at, but
I have the crazy eyes, man. I'm like, you can save me.
Hey, all you gotta do is look up above. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. And I try to be grateful that I have, because I think right before this went down, I was kind of starting to feel a little stressed out that I didn't have enough time at home. No, it's my fault. It's my fault.
You're good. You've had enough time. You're ready to go back.
I'm good. This is a nice vacation.
Yeah.
Right.
I can go there. I can work. I mean, I can go into my store with the door locked and work and list and be at work. I can't because I got these small humans that I can't leave at home.
All right. So I want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat room for coming out tonight. Landshark, Picker, OG, Triple OG, thank you for coming out. Even though I know you got a personal situation going on that you're trying to get control of, but appreciate you taking time out to come out here tonight. Money for Mars, West Max, Mary. I see you was the first one in the show tonight. Appreciate it.
Murray.
Dapper Tiger, thank you for coming. And if I miss you, I definitely will go back in, or Glass City Pit. One half of the Glass City Pickers, Tanya, she will go in and give you a shout out. So tonight we basically we have one talking point tonight, and that would be what advice or tips that you would give a part-time reseller that is preparing to become a full-time reseller. And we're gonna do some freelancing about reselling. And last but not least, we're gonna do a show and tell. So Lauren, I don't know if you was able to read the description, but in this show, we do a show and tell at the end. If you don't have anything, that's fine. But basically, if you got something that you want to show off that you have in your store or you plan on putting in your store, whether it's eBay or your live store, you can take that time to show it off. And if you don't, that's fine. Like I said, it's just a tradition that we do on this show.
Trying to think. This is me. This is what my eyes do when I think real hard. I go, I think I have some inventory in the house here. I don't usually keep most of it here, but I definitely have some downstairs.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So basically, we can get into the talking point, and that way we can just keep the flow going and get to the end, which is the show and tell. So
I'm gonna get comfortable for this.
So I'm gonna put it on Glass City Pickers. Y'all can start it off, and then we can roll around the panel as far as what type of advice or tips you would give somebody give a part-time reseller that's contemplating or preparing to become a full-time reseller.
First and foremost, don't give up. Don't let little setbacks. I personally say don't let little setbacks discourage you from moving forward. Adapt to change. Some things you have to change. During this pandemic, we had to change what we're doing. So we changed, and let me tell you, the change went to cha-ching like you wouldn't believe. And it's just phenomenal, and I love it. And I don't want it to stop. But as someone wanting to go full time, I would just say don't get discouraged. I mean, you'll have better days than some days are going to be better than other days, and just keep moving forward. What do you say, Christopher?
I did all that, but I still, for the first to be going full time or even just part time, I would say your focus has to be there. Do your research on what you are here trying to do in the business of reselling. Make sure your capital is correct, and just keep your head to the sky and keep grinding. More, I didn't got from you, Buffalo. The more you put in, it's going to be the more you get out. So to becoming this full-time reseller,
get what you give.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a real hustler and you're passionate about something, and this reselling business, you will be passionate about it, because when you first make that first dollar, you're going to understand, I paid this for that, or I got this from here, and I made this out of that. I'm hooked, especially if you like money. So I just say, do your research on anything you do. whatever platform you have, you got a device on your phone, scan. But I
And
just
some
say,
days will definitely be better than others.
yeah.
Just don't get discouraged. Don't give up. If
Do
you
not.
have the drive and the passion, stay with it.
So, and I think I also would say, with the research, if you know somebody that's in this business, pick their brain. Pick their brain. Tell the kids and the family hello. Pick their brain. You feel me? It's just that simple.
Right.
It's just that simple.
So you want to jump in?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, a lot of people feel like it's A or B. Like I want to go full time, so I have to quit my job and jump right in and be a reseller. And I mean, sometimes that works, but my recommendation when people come to me and they've asked me, you know, I really, really want to be a full-time reseller, I say find out if you can work less hours at your job. And they always say to me, "Oh no, I don't think they'll let me." But I've had 2 or 3 people who actually asked, and I say you don't know until you ask, because
Right.
that's what I actually did. I had been a 1099 for this same company for 5 or 6 years, and I really had enjoyed my job. But it was a small company, and the husband and wife who were the owners were getting a divorce, and I was like the teenager at home. Like she would call me and brag about him, and he would call, and it was just like, ah! And every day it just was this, like this, my job that I used to love. And my husband would be like, you know, get another job, get another job. Well, I always kind of sold on the side. I did eBay since the 90s, early 90s, but it was more like I had worked at Hallmark and collected thousands of ornaments. And when I decided to sell some, I would put them on eBay. It was never like, it was just kind of things around the house or whatever. And then I had started Amazon, and I just did it one Q4 with my son. And it was just one specific thing. It was back when you could sell Apple. We were selling Apple iPods and or iPads, which you can't. But anyway, so I said, you know, maybe I'll start doing the reselling thing again. And I cut back on my hours. I cut back to like 20 hours a week, and I started doing the reselling more and more. And I just put all that money back into inventory, and, you know, just built it up slowly. I mean, some people jump right in and, you know, spend $30,000 on inventory and stuff. And I just didn't. I didn't really want to get a lot of debt, so I just built it slowly. And I like to learn something really good before I just jump in. But that's one thing I love about reselling is you can kind of do it any way you want. You can sell on Amazon. You can sell on, I know people who make a living selling on Facebook Marketplace, buying liquidation appliances and selling on
Right.
Facebook Marketplace. I mean, there's just so many ways. And like Glass City Pickers were saying about, you know, being easy to change. Like with this whole pandemic thing, my whole business model changed overnight. And you have to be flexible. But I would just say, don't think of it in the terms that it has to be A and B. I'm either working a corporate job or my 9 to 5, or I can be a reseller. The guys that really, like you, Terry, I mean, the guys that have a full-time job and do this and do YouTube and do Airbnb and do this and that just blows my mind. I don't know how you guys do all that, but I'm always really impressed with that.
Right. Lauren, after you straighten everybody out.
Oh, it sounds like they're roller skating upstairs. I don't know what the hell that sound is.
As long as there's no sirens coming, you're good.
You hear that though? I don't know what it is. It's got to be the dog. They must be playing.
Right.
I loved both of those tips. They're so on the money, and I don't know if that sinks in to somebody who's in the position that needs to hear those tips as much as it does in hindsight as someone who's been through it. But listen to those tips, guys.
Right.
They are spot on. I don't know if I could. I'll add to it kind of with my own. So I'm in a niche market, right? Don't do that. Just sell everything you can find that has value. If you like, I don't do retail arbitrage. I don't do new products. I only do secondhand items. And I guess if that's your niche, stick with it. That's where I started, and it grew into 80s toys. That's what I know the most about toys. It's insane. I don't collect toys. I know too much about toys. But don't be afraid of what you don't know. That's my one tip. Don't be afraid about it, but be smart about it. So if you walk up and you see an opportunity to buy an entire Rubbermaid bin full of anything that you don't know about, and it's cheapish, buy it. You're going to know about it the next time you see it because you're about to spend 4 hours learning about it.
Right.
So in the beginning here, your time has no value. Don't pay yourself for time because you're learning in that time that you're spending, and that's more valuable than your profits are going to be. Because once you learn that, twice you learn it, maybe by the third time you have to look it up, it's going to stick. You know, I still have to look up which gun goes to certain Star Wars figures. I don't know it all the time, but sometimes I do. And sometimes I could be like, oh, there's an $85 Star Wars gun.
Right.
Sweet. And I can find it now. Whereas 7 years ago, I'd have been like, oh, give me $50 for the lot. And now I'm making $8,000 selling the pieces.
Right.
So in the beginning, don't pay yourself for your time. Keep that job, make it a self-sustaining, keep turning the profits into more stuff because you're paying yourself with knowledge. And you're going to walk by a table at a yard sale 3 years from now and know exactly which 5 things to buy instead of 5 years ago where you had to look everything. You can't look up stuff at yard sales. Don't do that.
Right.
Go with your gut, but you will learn. And that is the most valuable thing you're going to come out in the beginning with.
Okay.
But I think that's not just for beginners either, because 5 years in, you could still see another bucket of something you don't know what it is.
You are never going to start over. That's true. Yeah, that keep doing that because I still do that. I will buy any bucket of toys for $60 because that's fun for me to learn about. And if I make $70, now I know. Don't buy that bucket of toys again.
And if you really need to look something up at a yard sale, this is like, oh, I'm going to see if my son wants this.
Always. Oh, do you mind if I'm just going to text my husband and see it? And my husband's name is eBay, apparently. And I'm like, you want that, $1? Just buy it.
Right.
But if it's $5 or $10, like you said,
that's when
you like look it up. The thing that gets me is when people go, oh, I found this whole bucket of stuff. It's $5. I'm not sure if I should buy it. Just buy it. It's $5. It's a coffee.
I'm at $100 buckets now. If they're the right looking bucket, I'm like, oh, I'll take that bucket. I will give you $100 for that.
Let's go. We need that bucket.
I think I love it. I am such a bulk. I'm going nuts not having the buying opportunities from being open at the store right now. I'm going crazy. I have so much inventory. Like I have plenty of stuff there. I don't have enough time to deal with it. And I want more. I just need more. I want more stuff.
I don't know a reseller that don't want more.
I need more.
And Lauren, just kind of off of what you said, in some of the shows that we've done, we've had people ask that. And I always want to tell people, like, we have family and friends that have started, and they're like, well, I don't really like that, so I didn't want to buy it. No, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. Just because you can't stand the look of that or you don't like it, somebody else is going to like that. Somebody's going to love that, and somebody's going to pay top dollar for that. So don't ever look away from anything just because it's not your taste.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's also sometimes really good because otherwise you're tempted to keep stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people will pay $100 for Scrooge McDuck diapers. I have no need for diapers. I will buy those diapers.
Scrooge McDuck. Tight as shit.
It is. I think like the tagline of reselling tips is it is ridiculous what people will spend money on.
I know.
Buy it all.
Even retail arbitrage. If you go, who would buy this? Check that first because everyone is going, oh, this hot toy. Everybody's going to want this, and every retail arbitrager is buying that.
Right.
So you look at the stuff like, who would buy this? That's what is probably the better item.
It's so true.
You're right.
That's one thing you learn in the retail arbitrage business is that if it's something out there that every reseller is buying, you better sit on it for a while. because if you get in the rat race, you're gonna be in the rat race because you're gonna be chasing down to the bottom just to get rid of it. But
Absolutely.
I learned because I have the resources now that some of this stuff I can sit on it for a while. So once the supply and demand, come back, yeah, I'll be one of the first one in. So
Right.
But yeah, I'm gonna give my 2 cents on the talking point, and then we'll move on. So my thing is that I think you can't. My advice to a part timer trying to go full time is you can't judge your success on a Q4. So if you're trying to make that decision based off of how well you performed on Q4, then you're setting yourself up for failure. If you're gonna go from a part-time reseller to a full-time reseller, you should be judging your performance throughout the year and with some years under your belt, not just a 1 year or 2 year. And you was like, hey, I got this. I'm finna go, full time. And like all of y'all made, valid points. It's like if you got a job and you got a, a steady income coming in, why you want to leave that and lose that stream of income to go to be a full-time reseller unless you extremely prepared. Now it's a reverse side to that too. If you have been reselling for I would say 5 years, because when I look at a reseller, I equate, the knowledge that you gain in reselling to going to a college and getting credit out. So I feel like
there's a box set of all 4 books, and it says get it as soon as Tuesday, October 6th.
Well, hey, as you said, into the reselling.
What that mean?
No. Go ahead. I was going to pick it back off what you were just saying.
Yeah.
I was just going to say.
So basically, what I'm saying is that I create. Is that you, Lauren?
Is it background noise? Because then that's me. They won't quiet.
Okay. All right. No problem. Because I was just worried.
I'm going to mute you and I'm going to hide in the game room.
No, that's fine. So basically, I equate the knowledge that you gain in reselling to like going to college and getting a degree. So if you got a person that been out here for 4 years hustling and their track record showing that, they have a good performance at selling, they understand the whole concept of being a reseller, and their money can match their performance and labor that they have put into this. I personally equate that to having a 4-year degree as a reseller. Right. So if that's you and you are in that position, then by all means, take it to the next level. And the only way you really can take it to the next level is as a full-time reseller, because it's only limited things that you can do as a part-time reseller. I've been a part-time reseller now for 2.5 years, and I feel that if I were to change over and go to a full-time reseller, I fully understand reselling, but I'm not going to say I'm a master reseller, but I fully understand reselling. And I know what it takes, for me personally, to go out and make money as a reseller. So if I wanted to leave my comfortable federal government job and become a full-time reseller, I think I could. But like all y'all mentioned, you got to approach this with caution. You can't just jump out there in the 12 feet and say, hey, I had a good Q4 and I'm going to be a reseller. I'm going to be a full-time reseller now. I think you're setting yourself up for failure.
I agree.
I mean, some people are thrown into it, like Scott. I mean, he did the bearded picker.
Right.
He left a job and he jumped right in and did well. But one thing I think, even if you're doing it part-time, I think you have to realize that when you're in business for yourself, like if you don't get up and get to work every day, you're not getting that paycheck.
Right.
So you have to be motivated, which was the one really bad downfall of this pandemic, maybe in home. Because I think my carrot was always get the work you don't like done and you can go shopping. Get that work done you don't like and you can go shopping. Well, I haven't been able to shop for 6 weeks. So it's
Right.
like, oh, I got tomorrow.
See, Sue,
Well,
see,
I've had a
well, I
hard
was so
time
happy
being
you got out
motivated.
there. I'm happy you got out there. I'm happy to hear you got out there.
Oh,
Because personally, the Glass City Pickers, we haven't been quarantined.
oh yeah. Well, so I did actually beat my April sales from last April. Not a huge, like my January, February, March was a record January, February, March for me.
Right.
And I did beat my sales for last year. But my husband also had surgery last April.
Ready.
So there was like a week or so that I wasn't really working last April. So it wasn't a big record to beat.
Yeah.
But I plan on getting right back to it in May. But I'm not really sure how much I'm going to be sending in FBA right away.
I know.
I might be sticking with this merchant fulfilled or half and half. I just don't really know.
I'm with you, Sue. I feel the same way. I'm liking this merchant fulfilled, but I don't know if it's because of what's going on right now that we're doing so well, or because I don't know, but I'm liking it.
But okay.
I don't mind coming home from working 40 hours a week and packing some stuff.
And my 2 pennies in my head, I was thinking when we was talking about something yesterday about how they looking like they messing with your performance. They're not giving you the proper numbers because you're not allowed to send stuff in. So
I see that.
Basically you're taking a hit on that. Okay. So you still pushing good products and inventory out on the other side, and they still not raising the bar for you. So I'm looking at it like, okay, since this is going to still keep going on, people are not going to just jump out there like, hey, I'm going to do, they're not going to do it. People still going to be ordering and stuff like that. So I'm looking at it like when they say opening up on some things to be able to send more to Amazon, we sending it. We going to shop for both of them. It's just
another thing you got to remember too is that, we didn't cross over until we got the message from Amazon about the change.
Right.
So, when I did the research, I clearly understand that people were selling that stuff way before we even started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can't get in and say, well, it's because of the situation. No, it ain't because of the situation. Now, some of the prices might be because of the situation. But I think it's always been people out there selling food.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not selling any food. I'm still selling what I used to sell, toys, which I can't. I mean, there are some toys I can be sending in, but here's the difference right now. The merchant fulfilled is getting the buy box as much as FBA because we're shipping it out faster, or it's not back ordered, or I mean, we really have an advantage with merchant fulfill right now. And that's why I'm really trying to, if I get an order, I mean, my order is up to like 4 o'clock. I usually leave for the post office about 4:30. If I'm really pushing it, like 10 till 5, because they're open till 5, and I bring to the back dock, so they're usually there. But if somebody ordered something at 4, I'm shipping it out. If I'm finished with orders, because I want people to go. Here's the thing though. A lot of people still don't even realize they're buying from a third-party seller.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I think that is an issue with Amazon, is that people just think that I ordered it from Amazon. It was the buy box. They don't even know what the buy box is. They just pull it up and they want it. But I do think that
shopping on Amazon.
I do think that, we are having the advantage right now with us getting the buy box more. And about the whole inventory number, mine just went under 500 for the first time. I think I'm like at 494. And they're saying that it won't matter. They're saying they're not, I mean, it doesn't hurt you till, used to be 350, but I think it's 300 now. But I am still clearing out, I'm down to probably 50 items that, I'm deleting my listings that I'm not going to restock on. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Well, not to cut you off, but just to think about, they said, are they charging us for inventory fees and all that stuff right now?
I know that the long-term storage fees have been turned off for April and May.
Yeah.
I think I really don't know I know I did get a inventory. I did pay for inventory in April, or I mean March.
Yeah, I think we paid like 20
Okay.
bucks.
Well, we getting our stuff out faster than Amazon is getting their stuff
definitely.
out.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, we still got stuff that people that ordered off Amazon since
the March 31st one did go.
Yeah, well, that finally
It
went.
was a comforter, and
Yeah,
it did finally go this week.
A lot of we still got stuff still pending.
But it was almost 3.5 weeks before Amazon could get that order out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple hundred pending and for FBA, and I'm not even really selling. It's not. I mean, I literally am 50% of what I sold in March. So.
Well, that's good.
You know, I mean, so they're behind for sure. But again, I'm not selling any food right now or medicines, anything like that. That's priority.
Right.
We've been selling toys too. We've been selling a lot of toys.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say something about thinking about her, Freddy Cougar back there. We sold Michael. We just sold Michael Myers. Today
I got him.
We just shipped him out today. So
Just the big one?
yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had the 18-inch one with the head and it came with like parts that you could switch up.
Yeah.
Those just went. The last one went today.
Right.
That must have been a good 18-inch in the box.
Yeah. Brand new in the box.
Probably a good sale. Yeah, there's a good
sale, Lauren.
To be truthful, paid $50 for it and sold it for $149.
Not bad.
You know,
I'll take
what
it.
Was that NECA probably, right? Was it a NECA or a sideshow?
I think it was a NECA.
NECA.
Yeah, I think so too.
NECA.
Yeah.
I love them. I loves my horror guys. I get them 6 feet tall.
Yeah, I can see behind you.
So, Lauren, a lot of the things you do
is eBay. Right?
Is eBay. Majority. That's where you. So you said I heard you say you don't go out searching in stores and stuff, retail arbitrage, and you don't go do that. So you mainly thrifting, garage sales, and.
I love garage sales, but almost all of my inventory is bought through the store. I go to garage sales when I can, but they almost always have to be within 5 minutes of my house because Saturdays are, well, in a normal world, Saturdays were baseball for the kids and work at 11. So it was hard. I bought in bulk entire basements full of toys that I still missed it so much.
But so being that you've been in business a long time, people knew to call you and say, "Hey, I have this." That's cool.
Yeah. So I would buy even from after in the past few years, I would buy collections from customers that were like, "All right, I'm moving. You want to buy my collection? Yeah, I'll take my stuff back and all the other better stuff. Thank you."
Right. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it was. Sure was.
And a better price you got it back for?
Yeah.
So you basically advertise locally and you get your customers that way?
Yeah, I've never paid for advertisement. It's all word of mouth and Facebook.
Okay.
Beautiful. Good job, Lauren.
What's that?
Beautiful. Good job.
Yeah, I loves it. I loved it. Don't think we're ever opening again.
No,
really?
No.
Do you really think so?
No. I cannot work if my kids are home from school.
You're going to get to play soon. Don't worry.
Have faith.
You're going to get to play.
I feel
you want to play with.
Like yesterday, I felt really positive. I'm like, it is what it is. I'll make it work. My husband's currently off on weekends, which changes every 8 weeks anyway. But hey, maybe I could be open on weekends. We'd be so busy. And then it turned into today, and they were like, "Oh, so school doesn't exist anymore. Probably not even in the fall." And I'm like, "Oh, great."
I really don't understand how they can. I mean, they just canceled our marathon that's on 4th of July. Okay, I can kind of see that, but I can't see how they can say for school for next year. Like, why would you say it yet? You know,
they won't confirm anything yet, but I'm reading between the lines a lot. It doesn't look good.
Well, I think you need to open up a little homeschool in the back of your toy store.
That's what I said. I'm like, suck it up, kids. I do not have the worst job for my children to have to come to work with me.
Right.
And they will still complain. I don't want to go to the store with you. And I'm like, oh, okay. My place is full of gumball machines and video games.
I mean,
It's
say,
not a
hey, would you
dentist
rather
office.
go? Would you rather go to the store or daycare?
I know.
Hey, I'll be trying to go to the store and work and play and doing all I can. Boy.
I'm like, sit down, play 3 hours of Grand Theft Auto on PlayStation 2. I don't care. Just leave me alone. And it's a problem.
So
it's
do
not,
they have your kids equipped with the Chromebook and stuff like that by the school? Or?
no.
Oh,
We don't have like I don't know what school districts around here are doing that. Ours is big school district and it's not rich.
Oh, okay.
So I mean they would have to come up with 10,000 Chromebooks. So I don't think that would happen. But they made sure everybody had a laptop at least. And the 12-year-old is good. I think he's good. I don't know. Maybe he's flunking everything. But as far as I know, he's doing his work on his own. I haven't gotten a phone call. The 7-year-old I have to like sit with and do every single lesson. It's not that bad. It's only about 2 hours of work every day. But
Right.
I'm not a teacher. I specifically did not become a teacher
God
on
bless
purpose.
the teachers, right?
Yeah. So and at least I've always said that. But ugh,
I bet people missing them teachers right now.
kidding. Like I knew my whole life. I was like, no, I'm not going to be a teacher. I am not cut out for that. Here you go. Good luck.
You said
So-
somebody was asking in the chat. You said you're from Long Island.
Yes, I'm on Long Island.
Long Island.
Yes.
Like to drink Long Island iced tea.
Oh, I sure do too. I like it more. It's a Long Beach iced tea if you do cranberry juice instead of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Even better. I like that more.
Okay then.
Ooh, now I'm thirsty.
Learn something new.
Did you
Yeah,
know
really.
Long Island clam chowder is pink? The mix between New England and Manhattan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't think even people on Long Island know that. I just love food so much.
Oh, all right. Because I grew up in Massachusetts, so ours was
Yeah, the
white.
good one. Yeah, that's the good one.
So Laura, how long you I think you mentioned it early in your intro, but a lot of people in the chat wasn't here yet. How long your store been open?
My store was open for almost 7 years.
Okay.
We opened Small Business Saturday. So November would be 7 years. Small Business Saturday in 2013.
Help him. He asked me to help him.
And
So you sell in your brick and mortar and you do eBay as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And is it like your stock from the store, or do you really separate that? What you have on eBay?
nothing is out. Well, that's a lie. Almost nothing is out for sale on the store and listed on eBay.
Okay.
So if it's something really good that suits the store, I'll put it out. And then, a couple of months when it hasn't sold, I'll pull it out and get double on eBay for it. I try to give my customers first dibs. Large things that might sell on the store and I'm going to notice if they sell, like a Millennium Falcon or something like that, I'll have out for sale and on eBay. But yeah, mostly everything gets listed and put away in my little storage unit that I built in the back of the store. It's the most organized part of the store, my eBay stuff, and I need to make it bigger now. Although I guess now it's technically the whole store.
Oh, right.
How big is your store?
My store is just about 1,000 square feet.
Okay.
Small-ish.
Small.
But filled with a bunch of little things.
Not bad though. That's
It's
Right.
not. It's doable. It's perfect. And the overhead is remarkably low comparatively. Like, I think I'd say retail space around here is usually about $25 a square foot per year.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
you
paying
get a lot
11.
of traffic. You get a lot of traffic in your area.
It's on a busy road, but it's kind of a blink and you'll miss it little strip mall of 4 stores that
Okay.
basically invisible. So when people call me for an address, I'm like, it's across from the diner. Don't try to look for the address. You're not going to see me.
Right.
But it's a busy road with a lot of car traffic, but New Yorkers drive with their heads up their butts. So I got to put a lot of stuff out in front to catch somebody's eye. So once the spring happens and I start bringing stuff outside, people will roll it. I live around the corner. I never noticed you. And I'm like, yeah, that's because it's spring and your eyes are open.
Right.
Pay more attention.
Right. So you strictly toys, you say?
The store is heavy on toys, but it's basically, the way I would describe it is a 1990s rec room.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
vinyl records, games, video games. I have like a big TV that plays VHS tapes all day. There's a couch. There's a bunch of vintage rock and roll t-shirts.
Right.
It's basically anything you would find in your rec room in the 90s.
Okay. Do you have customers coming in trying to treat your establishment like a pawn shop?
I have my small, thankfully, share of lessons that I've learned from buying from the wrong people.
Right.
That's happened. Actually, I'm pretty sure I inspired a house invasion, a home invasion that I saw on the news later that night. Pretty sure that was my fault.
Right. Well, not really. It was his fault.
It was his fault, 100%. I just think maybe that had something to do with me. Unfortunately,
The seed was planted and it got grew.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, being, you got a shop like that. How often do you get somebody trying to come in and sell you some hot, merchandise and stuff like that?
The worst part is that it's not. I mean, I guess I don't buy gold, so that's good. So it's not usually stuff that's been stolen from a stranger's house. Right. Every single one of the times it was youngish men selling their family's belongings, collectible toys, their sister's old toys for heroin money.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah, I mean, not doing electronics, not doing gold is probably not as bad, but I can.
Yeah, that's why thankfully it's a small handful of stories. But
well, they was gonna do it. They was gonna do it anyway. With you in the mix or without you in the mix, they was gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, I think the mistakes I made cost me maybe $100.
Yeah,
overall.
Yeah. Learning lesson.
What am I gonna do? Yep.
You pay for a good learning lesson. Sue,
yeah.
So when you got out in the stores, what you find good, Sue?
Hey, thank you for coming out, Alex.
Fat man.
Fat man got to go.
What you find good, Sue?
Some toys.
Toys? You some good deals?
Hot new bolos, so I can't really. I have no show and tell.
Oh,
good for you.
All good in the neighborhood. We up north, so when me and Tom be collaborating and stuff, and we be talking about different stuff, he tell us, "Hey man, you need to go check this out in your store." We and my wife already tell him, we'll go check that out in about a week and a half because the price ain't gonna drop.
I mean, like outdoor things are real popular right now. I'll put it that way. But I'm shopping at Target right now, which I'm not a big Target shopper.
Yeah,
because prices tank pretty quick. So I'm like, get rid of this merch fulfill while it's hot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you next week because the price will be bad next week.
Yep. Soon as you get it, as soon as you pass the cashier.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no, I literally in the parking lot list. Literally, I have a thing about doing it in line. I just have this fear that I'm going to list something and sell it, and they're going to say you can't buy 6 of the. Like I wait till I'm in the parking lot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You don't want to jinx yourself.
Like at Q4, when I'm in a longer line. Like not that I haven't listed stuff in line, but I try to wait till I'm out in the parking lot.
Right. I had that happen one time with me up in North Georgia. The manager stopped me at the door and was like, "You can only get 5 of those." And I was like,
"Wait, had you already paid?"
I had already paid. And I was like,
"Man,
I got a receipt, so do what you got to do." I kept walking, so I didn't hear that. But she stopped me at the door. She was like, "Hey, sir, you can only get 5 of those." I was like,
"Well, you should probably tell your cashiers that for next time." Bye.
Exactly.
Well,
they late in the dollar show.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, I only got once at Walmart, which is surprising. It was one of those. You guys were talking about it last week. I never know how to say her name. That JoJo.
Oh,
JoJo
Sway or something like that.
Yeah. So it was the big doll, like they had sold really well 2 Christmases ago, I think.
Right.
And I think I only caught a few late, like, you know, and I sold those. So anyway, when I saw them come out last year, I think I put 4 in my cart and I'm checking out and it literally, the cash register stopped at 2. And she's like, I can't override it. And I'm like, no problem. I never try. I try to be like a super nice customer and never give them a hard time, you know. But my son was shopping at Target. Now, this is when he lived in Los Angeles. And he's a big Target shopper. He also is an Amazon reseller, and he sells 4 or 5 times what I sell. He's in the money.
Right.
But anyway, he was buying at Target, and he went through the self-checkout so he could use that coupon a couple times. And it wasn't about the coupon or whatever. The lady was like, "Oh, you can't buy you can't buy all that, you know." And Joe's like, "Okay, well, I'll just, you know, take what I got." And he starts to walk out, and she's like, "Oh no, you have to put the rest of this back."
Yes.
He goes, "Excuse me, either I can buy it or I'm leaving it. I'm not gonna go." She goes, "That's it. You can never come in this store again. I'm banning you from this store."
Yeah.
Okay.
I something like that similar happened to me just what, a month ago.
Really?
I was in the store. Yeah, I went and I cleaned the shelf off, and as soon as I got in the self checkout, I noticed the lady. I thought she was running to catch one of her friends, but she ran to tell the manager that, "Hey, do we have a limit on this stuff?" And he came down. I mean, he grandstand me in front of everybody. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go there. If you say I can't buy it, I can't buy it. He was like,
But now,
well,
was it like a sale item or like a lost leader? Because that I stay away from at Target.
it wasn't nothing on sale, but it was a good price to flip on Amazon. And
it was in one of those categories right now of like hand sanitizer, soap.
No.
It
wasn't
anything
like that.
that
I wouldn't even try it. I wouldn't even try it with nothing like that. But he grandstand me in front of everybody. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you know, if that's the policy, that's the policy. He was like, well, you can take 4. It's like, nah, you keep it. I'll go somewhere else and get it. And I went to another store, and you know, Atlanta is big. Yeah. I went to another store. They had no problem. And then he was like, oh, well, what you going to do about the rest of this in the buggy? I just looked at him and kept walking.
Sounds like a you problem.
We had that same problem. We still had that same problem as in Ollie's. And the young lady, while my wife got her half of everything, she already didn't try to front us out in the store and everything. So I was gonna leave what I had. I was gonna leave it right there and roll on out. So she's like, "Well, you can go on and buy that." So I wanted these products, but I really wanted to leave it right there. How bad she acted. Then she had the nerve to take a picture of me. Like she was gonna put my picture all over Ollie, saying that they're coming to buy all the products up.
Wait, Ollie's is very pro reseller.
Yeah,
really.
Not this day. We had been in this Ollie's. We had been in this Ollie's so many times. It's pitiful.
That's really surprising. I mean, it says right on their wall, buy as much as you want. But they do say that they reserve the right. They reserve the right to limit certain items. The only one I ever knew they limited was the Elmo, Tickle Me Elmo. Some of the stores had them like quantity. You couldn't get more than 6.
It was not a limit. We didn't been in there. We didn't been in there buying stuff like we bought these big Transformers. And they had 2 per person. So they did have a limit. So when it's 2 per person, it's both of us. Yeah. So you get 2, I get 2. You dig? When we take them and put them up, it's 2 of us. She get 2, I get 2. So
that rule right there is so crazy though, because it's like they'll tell you can only get 2. So I buy 2, I leave the store, put those 2 in the car, come back in the store, then I can get 2 more. It's just crazy. I told the manager one time, I was like, well, what's the difference in me buying them all right now? And she looked around, she was like, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I did a lot of Ollie shopping Q4, and one of the guys was telling me, like, he said something. I was buying a whole bunch of something, and he made a comment about it, and like I try to always not take everything. Like there was maybe 25 of these items. Funny thing is, I'm still stuck with those. I'm in that price alert thing, and I can't get them. I tried to get them returned to me. Anyway, so I bought like 16 of them. Those I wasn't really sure on, but like even the Tickle Me Elmos, if I could buy all of them in the store, I would buy all, but I'd leave one or two of them. I feel like it's karma. And
that's what it was. Tickle Me Elmos. That's exactly what it was.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what it was. But to me, we didn't. We and the killing part, Sue. I promise you, we didn't take all of them or nothing. We could have, and it was a young lady trying to. Because we got about 10 of them off there from the jump, and before we got the cart, all the 10 in there. The young lady was like, "Are y'all gonna take all of them?" We was like, no, and it was some more around right there. So we even handed her one out of our cart and gave it to her, and grabbed another and put it in our cart. And then, just like you said, somebody ran up there and said something to the manager. The manager came and talked nasty. It was you and her and my wife got into it, and then she was like, "Y'all get out here and take it from everybody." I was on an IV antibiotic in the store, trying to get these products because we knew they was out and came on sale. So if I can get out here in the snow with on an IV antibiotic, how can nobody else?
I mean, the one thing the guy was telling me at Ollie's, that same Ollie's one time, I was buying these games and we just started talking about this particular game. It was some weird Ghostbusters game and some brand, and he seemed to know all about games and stuff, and he was helping me out with my car with everything. And he made a comment about me buying a whole bunch of this one thing, and he asked me, was I because I always use my my tax exempt thing or whatever, and we just got to talking about it, and he was saying there was one guy that came in and bought every single Tickle Me Elmo the second they got him, and one lady who was a few people behind him in line, she said, "Oh, is there more of those Tickle Me Elmos? I really wanted to get one." And he said, "You can buy it off my Amazon store for $100." And I mean, I wouldn't be like that, So we got the manager, got the guy working there with a bad taste in his mouth over it, So I would just never be like that. I'm not saying you were. I'm saying sometimes that you don't know what that clerk might have been through that morning, and who knows. She shouldn't have given you a hard time. She really shouldn't. But I always try to think about what other, I mean, I have bad days too. And let me tell you that I was in retail for 10 or 15 years, and you can have some bad days in retail. So I just always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, I might get upset, but then I leave and I think, they might have had a really bad morning or something's going on in their life that you don't know.
I've been in a couple of Walmarts where some of the clerks, they actually won't. What happened?
He was frozen. I think he has to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was going to say, I hope I didn't upset him too much.
He had the best face on. He was frozen in a great face.
Yeah, so I've been in Walmart a couple of times where I have, some of the associates, they had planned to get some of those items. And, especially like with Brixie, you pretty much kind of got an idea that item might be in the store, even though it's not on the floor, it may be in the back. Yeah. And I had the manager to come and, go grab the stuff for me. And some of the associates be like, well, I thought the policy was you could only get 6 of those, or, just coming up with crazy numbers, because the plan was they was going to get it on Friday when they got paid, So I'm like, whatever,
Well, I mean, there's been times where I remember I was buying all these princess something puzzles a couple of years ago at Tuesday Morning, and the lady was like, "Oh, that's so cute. Or is there more back there?" And I was like, "Hey, I got them all, but you can have one if you want." And then there was a lady in Austell at the Tuesday Morning in Austell. I was buying these Uno. They were like a slot machine almost. This Uno game.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, my students would love that." I think she was a special ed teacher, and she was talking about her students and everything. And so I bought them all, and then I asked her for an extra bag, and then I bagged it up and I gave it to her for her students. I I mean, I just like to, I just like to make people feel good sometimes. I mean, I rarely like buy something.
Well, when I
but
ran
I just
into
felt
you,
called to do that day.
when I ran into you at that Walmart, Sue, you didn't offer me nothing up out your cart.
No, but we were talking and talking and talking. I'm thinking in the cart that he might see. I had a lot of clearance that day, like a lot of stuff that I don't usually buy. That clearance aisle was like gold.
Yeah, it was.
Because my head was like buried in the clearance, and I hear this Sue, and I turn around and I see this big guy, and I'm like, yes.
I actually did once buy a bunch of stuff from a clearance rack in Walmart to sell.
Oh, cool.
I just remembered that. Yeah, I still have some of it. It's about 6 years ago. But it was like boxes of incense were 24 cents each. So I was
I know. I'll
take
tell
all
you
of it.
where, you know what? I bought like racks of these 36 cents battery operated lights.
Yeah.
Like Christmas lights. And I was thinking, I'll sell them next Christmas. I don't know what happened. I never got into them. I put them on Facebook Marketplace and people bought big stacks of them for weddings.
That's awesome.
I would throw it up on Facebook Marketplace like a whole lot and just say $5 or something.
I think I've given most of it away to a friend of mine that does like hippie festivals. She sells at hippie festivals. I'm like, here, I'm invested nothing in this. Take this. You get $5 a box for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it was still, I had no bad taste in my mouth over that because I think I bought probably about $6 worth, and I have an FBA Amazon account, but I have sold maybe 10 things in 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they sold like 3 of them sold for $8 each plus shipping right away. I was like, all right. That's cool. Thank you. That was my one and only retail arbitrage. Yeah.
You could get that feeling all the time.
I know. You know what? My problem is time. I don't have time to hunt stores.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm so jealous of it because I did used to love shopping. Like I used to be a couponer.
Oh,
so if I had the time for that again, combining couponing with retail arbitrage, I would be unstoppable.
I really want somebody to teach me that. I really do.
So, you know what? The crazy coupon lady was who I learned from.
I have her app.
Yeah. It was, but then, then stores started changing their rules because couponing got too big. And I wasn't in before it got too big. I was part of it getting too big. And they started changing, everything got way more complicated. Certain days you had to do this, and then you have to use points towards stuff. And I was like, I'm out. The math is out of control.
So you was a coupon queen? Sorry, y'all, my computer went dead. My bad.
I figured.
I was hoping it wasn't something I said.
You was a coupon queen too?
I was. It was a while ago. I'd say, gosh, maybe 9 years ago. I loved it. We only just ran out of mouthwash. It was 9 years ago.
Hey, we had second win in the audience. So he almost got beat up by an old lady for a 75% off Christmas tree.
I would have let her had it, but I'd say you got to land one good punch, little old lady, and then it's yours. I just want to see it happen.
She caught you with the crispy, boy. You've been looking funny all on YouTube. You got knocked out by an old lady.
That old lady probably been like Mr. Burns, man.
Right?
One, I got scared.
Shaking hands.
Hey, don't let her have that stick, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, or a shoe.
Hey,
I've seen old ladies do things with a shoe.
Let me take this time out again to give the folks in the chat room a shout out. I want to thank y'all for coming out tonight, spending some time with us on this show. Appreciate y'all putting the comments in the chat room. And if you have any questions for any of the guests, Susan, for Sue, Lauren, please.
No, my name is Susan. That's fine too.
Okay. All right. So, some people stickler about their name.
I'm Lauren, but you can call me Laura.
Okay. So if y'all have any questions for the guests, Glass City Pickers, y'all can put it in the chat room. And we're going to move on to our last portion of this show, which is the show and tell. And panel, if you have anything to show and tell, you can. If you don't worry about it. Glass City Pickers, y'all got anything tonight?
Yeah.
All right.
They always got something.
They go retail arbitrage every day.
I also happen to have something. That's funny.
Okay, good. You can
Want
go
me
ahead and
to fill
start,
this in?
Lauren.
All right, I got an easy one. This is from my collection.
Hold
I
on,
don't need it.
let me blow you up. You about to get on the big
Okay.
screen.
Ready, guys? Oh, I'm everywhere. Personal collection that I don't need and never played. A bootleg NES 701 cart. It's this is before people could Raspberry Pi their NES. It's probably
Right.
from the mid 90s. 700 games on one cart.
Wow.
I have to list that because
I've never seen that before.
there's a 60 in one that's pretty popular because it's got 60 of the best games on it.
Right.
But all that stuff died off. Like it was worth maybe 4 times what it used to be before Raspberry Pis took over.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you got that plug and play now for $100, and you don't need this.
So Glass City, y'all got something?
Yeah. Puzzles.
Oh yeah.
We sold 2 of these, and we sold
That's a nice one right there.
hold on.
I know where you got that. I saw that orange sticker.
Yeah, we got that. We got that.
I
on
went
some
yesterday. They
Old
didn't have one
Faithful.
puzzle at mine.
We sold a few of these this week, and
That'd
some
be a
of these
good one.
puzzles right
So
here.
all of those on eBay, those eBay sales?
Yeah. No. The 2 of the cars puzzle went on Amazon.
Okay.
Merchant Fulfilled. We sold these.
Oh, I like that one.
These on eBay.
That's 1,000 piece?
Huh? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So we
Tiny
got
pieces.
some few of those.
Y'all know what you're looking for now, huh?
Huh?
I say y'all know what you're looking for now with those puzzles, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
So we got some different makeups that I've been listing this week. I've been listing yesterday and today, and this is the last batch of the makeup I gotta finish listing. It's some Becca makeup. We sell it on eBay and Amazon.
Right. Okay.
So you already see the Amazon sticker right there. That was supposed to got sent in, but I missed it and had to keep it here.
Cool.
Let me see. Last but not least, I'm gonna talk to old Rev, because Rev put some good old info out there on baseball. I mean, on some basketball cards at the time.
Reverend resale.
Yeah, Reverend Resale. But I had been looking into some baseball cards and football and basketball. So we went out and we snatched up some baseball cards. Sold one of these football cards for, I think I sold for 15.
Right.
15 plus shipping. I think I made $24 off this pack. I could have probably sold it for more, but I got my money back in, I think, $5. And today I just listed packs of these like this. So on that note, thank you ladies for coming out, hanging out with us on the day. But that's
Thank
all
you for
I got
having
for
me.
show and tell today, y'all.
All right.
It's on you, Buffalo.
Okay. So
if I can just add real quick, Terry, if I had some Halloween puzzles and Christmas puzzles that I was holding till later in the year, sold them all.
wow.
So if you've got, I don't care what your puzzle is right now, Christmas puzzle, Halloween puzzle, Easter puzzle, sell it.
Right.
I live Halloween all year, so yeah, it's true. I'd buy a Halloween puzzle today.
Where you find your Halloween puzzle, Sue?
Oh no, let me think. I mean, I bought them. I actually bought them at a bookstore.
Okay.
Like on the clearance after the holiday, way after, when they go to $2 or something. So
okay. So I have a couple items. This was a deal that I got on Wednesday of this week. I mean, normally I buy Barbies to sell on Amazon, but these I'm gonna have to sell on eBay because they're not in the condition to sell on Amazon. But I just couldn't walk away from them because of the price, and that I know if I pair them up, they will sell on eBay. So here we go. All right, I have these two Harley Davidson Barbies. I'm gonna pair these up. They look a little dusty right now. I hadn't cleaned them up, but I'm gonna sell these on eBay.
Those nice.
Once I
Those nice.
Yeah, I got to do some prep to them, man. They need some prep. Look like they've been sitting in a dust bin for like the last 6 or 7 years.
Do them jeans look like they Levi jeans?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, she got on some chaps and he got on the jeans.
Right.
And this really what brought me out to do the deal was this Betty Boo.
Oh, there she go.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, yeah.
He claimed his grandson got to it and kind of messed the plastic up, but still, I know this will sell to some collector out there. So I got to do a little refurbishing on the outside, and I'm going to list this on eBay as well.
All three of them nice, bro.
Yeah, I just wish they was in better condition.
Right.
The box wise, but that's what I do. Lauren, I my niche is
Barbie, right? Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Barbie King.
I was gonna set myself up with some of my little vintage Barbies behind me, but I forgot them at the store.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would like that.
I got them loaded in here and outside. I just collect them all the way up till probably September. And then I prep them and send them off to Amazon for Q4.
I love it.
Last year, I think I sold over 170.
Which is so funny because I always go for all the boy toys. I had 3 sons, and I'm not a Barbie. I know I'd be talking to him and be like, "Did you see these Barbies? Those Barbies?" I never think to look at Barbies.
Yeah,
I have like my Barbies from when I was a kid that if I saw, I would be like drawn to, but I still won't buy them because I don't collect toys. But Peaches and Cream Barbie was my favorite Barbie on earth. Her dress was so beautiful, and I would love to see her in a box and just like absorb her visually.
This Barbie right here, I bought off of eBay. I don't know if y'all can see that well.
Wow.
But
and I'm not saying I've never sold any, but I know you sell so many Barbies, and other people I know do too. And I don't know what it is. I'm always drawn to all the boy toys.
Yeah,
I just know them better.
My wife was like that, Sue. She mainly we go look at the boy stuff. I had to break her from that. Like, hey, we going to go over here with these girls. There's more girls in the world than it is boys. We going over here to some of this girl stuff.
Right.
Yeah, she was like that too.
I mean, I do sell. I'm not saying I don't sell any girl stuff, but I do sell. I tend to go straight for the boy stuff, and I just know it better.
I'll tell you what, though, like dealing with 80s toys, the boy stuff sells so much faster than the girl stuff. There's not as many girls that want My Little Ponies as there are men that want Star Wars. So
right. The Marvel.
No, you're right about that.
Right.
It's hard, but their stuff is so much cuter.
But if you get the right My Little Pony, because we just had some vintage My Little Ponies, and around Q4, only a few of them sold when we sent them in there. But after Q4 came, them jokers flew off the shelf.
Yep, because everybody got their
Pony vintage things. Yeah. Right. It was a 5-pack or something like that. They smell. You can scratch them and they smell.
Oh, the scratching tips. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have. I like the sleepy eyes where their eyes open and close. They're so cute. That was a big My Little Pony.
I want to give another shout out to the chat. Flipping Particles just popped up in here. What's up, D?
What's up, D?
Donna Mae. I want to give her a shout out. I think I seen Flipping Goodies in here. Steve. Second Wind. I don't think I ever met Second Wind, but thank you for coming out, Second Wind. Big Mike.
Thank all y'all.
I just sold 5 doll heads. That's a wonderful sentence.
Appreciate all y'all.
Yeah, thank everybody for coming out. We're going to go ahead and bring this show to an end. We try to keep it around an hour. You know, I don't want to, infringe on people's time just holding them here. But I want to give special thanks to
Yeah, they're waiting on me. I'm gonna voice for life.
I want to give a special shout out to my guests, She Sail by Sue and Lauren, deep end of the Sandbox. I definitely appreciate you all taking y'all time out to come out and be on the panel. And like always, y'all definitely is welcome back anytime you like. If you just don't have something to do on a Friday night and want to be on the show, just send me a Instagram chat, and I'll definitely get you on the show.
And that goes ditto for Tuesday night.
And for people that haven't watched my show, I just want to let y'all know that I wouldn't be right here with this camera on if it wasn't for the lady on the panel, Sue.
Yes.
Definitely. She told me to turn the camera on. That's all I got to do. So
when he hit me up at Walmart, he tried to buy from your cart.
Yeah.
So,
Tuesday night at 7:30. Y'all more than welcome.
Right.
Anytime.
Ooh, tune in.
And everybody,
I just want to say hi to Junk Trader too in the chat because I've been trying to get my husband to bring my phone. I have my old phone with me.
Okay.
And so I haven't been able to text. I just wanted to say hi to Junk Trader.
Okay. Y'all got any plugs you want to put out there before we go?
I mean, you can see me Tuesday and Thursday morning on Bear to Picker Live channel.
All right. Lauren?
I make very sporadic videos that are awful and full of probably curse words. So
And if you ever in Long Island, where we could find you at your store?
Deep end of the Sandbox. I keep it simple.
You got a website for your store?
I do. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and we have a website, and I built it once, and I have never maintained it. It's funny though. Don't try to buy anything you see in the pictures. They're 7 years old.
Right. And I want to give a special shout out to Jennifer. Thank you for what you do in the chat room, putting people links out here so folks can go and subscribe. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you go and find the folks on the panel channel and subscribe to those channels. I mean, if you feel that you would like to, it's definitely no pressure.
Do that. I'm like a few away from 300. So go.
Okay, so there we go.
I pity a fool if you don't go subscribe.
I'm gonna stick Michael on you. Stick Michael Myers.
All right, let's go support Lauren. Get her subscribers up over 300. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody. Still a nation.
Peace.
Go Mets.